So everybody wants to be rich, but nobody's willing to put in the work. Nobody sits down and write the goals and say, this is how I'm going to get rich. This is how I'm going to invest this amount of money this year, and then I'm going to do this, then I'm going to do that. Nobody has a plan. Nobody has a goal. Nobody has a business plan, how to get to the level they want to get. Everybody just talks about, oh, I want to become a millionaire. I want to be rich. I want to be able to do this. They don't have an end goal. So let's go back to a person who doesn't have a lot of assets. Let's say somebody who is working, making $50,000 a year, somebody very normal. The average income in America, it's $39,000 and some change, closer to $40,000. If you are making $50,000, you are already above the average income earners in the United States of America. And if you are making the average income of America, $39,000, $40,000, you are part of the 1% of the world. So nobody else in the world is making as much money as you are. You go to a third world country, they are living on $1 a day, where you are making $100 or more than $100 a day. So that's how you have to show a little bit more grateful. But I understand, listen, I want to be super rich. Everybody wants to be super rich. A lot of people want to be super rich. And the people who say that don't want to be rich, because whatever reason, most of them are lying. They just don't want to be seen greedy. They don't want to be seen that all they care is about money. You can care about other stuff other than money. Like for me, I have a lot of things that I care about. There's my church. There is things that my friends, my hobbies. There's a lot of things that I care, and a lot of these things require money. So I do like money a lot. And a lot of people like money, but they don't want to be seen. They don't want to be told. They don't want to say that they like money because, oh, you don't talk about money, whatever. So, but let's go back to somebody who's making $50,000 a year, barely paying the bills, barely making it, and they are thinking they're in a hole. They cannot get out. They're thinking, how can I get out of this hole? I cannot save enough money to even buy my first house. I cannot save enough money to drive a nicer car. I'm here living paycheck to paycheck. Perhaps you are in a credit card debt because you would have decided to buy something that you don't need. Therefore, you are in this where you are now. So this is what I'm going to tell you. I want to show you. I want to do a quick video on how to save for the down payment of a house. If you are making about $50,000 a year, you are a normal person. You're not making probably below normal. I mean, in Northern Virginia, the average income is like $119,000. So let's say you live a very normal life. You don't want to be noticed. You just want to do your own thing. You don't want to be driving expensive cars. You don't want to be seeing social media showing off, taking women on yachts. You don't want to take women on expensive dates. You just want to find a really nice girl, marry. This is like, if you're a guy, marry her, have like 3 kids. But at the same time, you want to build something for yourself. You want to be able to have something to show 20, 30 years later when you are ready to retire. You don't want to be living paycheck to paycheck and depend on the government 40 years later. So what you want to do is, first, most people want to invest in real estate, right? That's the first step they want to do, invest in real estate, use, appreciation, equity, and all the fun stuff that real estate has to provide. You are in luck because I know what I'm talking about when it comes to real estate. This is what you do. This is how you buy your first house. Whether you are in $20,000 in debt, or you are debt-free, or you have $10,000 already saved, okay? If you are in that level of income, you have to have a budget. I know I don't like budgets. I freaking hate them. I don't even have a budget. But so far, it has worked for me without having a budget. I feel like, whatever's working for you, it works. But if you're complaining of where you want to get life to the next level, you are living paycheck to paycheck, or barely have any money saved up, or you are in debt, let me tell you, sorry, man. But you need a budget. You 100% need a budget. Okay? Do you know what a budget is? You're gonna get a piece of paper. You're gonna put the columns of income. $50,000 a year divided by 12. That's about $4,400 a month. Yeah, about $4,400 a month. All right. Minus taxes. You have to see how much money the government is taking. If you like the government, you should be happy that you're contributing to the IRS. You are helping to fund the wars in all those other countries. Fun stuff. I'm happy for you that you like paying taxes. And if you don't like paying taxes, you should get with somebody who's very smart about money. Get together, sit down, buy them lunch, buy them a gift, and say, hey, bro, I want to talk to you about how can I maximize not paying so much in taxes. Real estate is one way. There's other ways. Start your own business. Write off a lot of stuff if you have your own business, miles of your car, whatever. Anyways, food. But we're not talking about that. I'm not a CPA, so I know some of the breaks. If you want to buy me lunch, I'll take it. But here's what you do, okay? You got to see how much money you're netting, right? If you're making $50,000 a year, your tax bracket is about, easy math, is probably about 20%. So 20% of $50,000, that is $10,000. So you are netting $40,000 into that's your take home. And $40,000 divided by 12, that's about $3,300, I think, if I'm doing the math right. It's about $3,300 a month, okay? So you're gonna see, okay, my income is $3,300 a month. How much is my rent? My rent is $2,000 a month. If you're paying $2,000 a month, what are you doing? You are living in an apartment by yourself. You think you are the man or whatever you think. Oh, I just want to live alone. I don't like roommates. Well, listen. You are this hole because you want to have those luxuries. You can have those luxuries while you have your own house or while you have enough income that you're like, I will sacrifice my peace. I will sacrifice this money for my peace. But right now, you shouldn't be having peace. You should be mad. You should be working. You should be hustling. You should be trying to make it happen. And that means that perhaps you need to have roommates. Ooh. House hacking. House hacking works for everybody. Has worked for me. Still works for me. Great. I love people. I love my roommates. But they also help pay the bills. Okay? So don't come at me and saying, oh, I don't need to have roommates. I want to live by myself. Pay $2,000. Okay, if you pay $2,000, you have $1,300 left for bills, gas, automobile, internet, and all the fun stuff, food, and all. I don't think that's enough. And of course, this is why you're probably on a credit card debt. Okay, so let's say easy math. If your income is $3,300 a month, you shouldn't be paying more than. If you rent it, you shouldn't be paying more than 40% of your income. Let's say $1,000. I don't know, but 50%, $3,300. 50% of that is $1,650. So 30%. Let's say $1,000. You are renting a 2-bedroom apartment with somebody, and you're paying $2,000 a month each, and $1,000. Okay. Now you have $2,300 left. Then we're gonna go one step back. Okay, you have $3,300 coming in. You first have to pay yourself. You say, well, I'm paying myself. No. You got to open a bank account, savings account, something that you cannot touch, and you got to pay yourself first. This is you paying yourself first. You are working so hard at your job and doing all this stuff that you need to put at least 10% of your income. This is not. So because if you're working hard, you're doing all this stuff, you're paying your landlord, you're paying the car, you're paying all these people, but you are not paying yourself. So the first rule is you got to pay yourself. Pay yourself at least 10%. So 10% of $3,300 is $330. You put them in that account. Now you have $2,900 and some change to spend. Okay, you pay yourself. This is your fun stuff. Okay, you're like, well, David, it's going to take me so long. $300 is not enough. Yeah, well, listen. Snowball effect. Also, Rome was not built in one day. Okay? You have to start small. Sure, you got to dream big. You want to be a multi-millionaire. You want to be super rich. But this is not going to happen from one day to the other. It's going to take time. So you have to think, you have to start small, okay? Listen, it will be better than if you have $300 saved in 1 month. It's better than nothing, okay? Then you're going to pay yourself first. Then you're going to pay the rent. Then you can do whatever the hell you want. Like, if you pay yourself first, that's your thing. Another for me is really important to tithe. So another $330 will go to my church or to a nonprofit organization that I'm passionate about, whatever it is. Because if you cannot be trusted with little, you cannot be trusted with much. I hear a lot, well, I'll be generous when I'm super rich. No, you're not. If you make $1 million, you're not going to be able to give away $100,000. If you cannot give away $330 when you're making $3,300 a month, you're not going to be able to give, you're not going to sign a check of $100,000 when you make $1 million a year. So if you got to start small, and if it's in the good book. If you are trusted with little, you will be trusted with much. And I'm not saying, oh, you got to give to receive. No, I'm saying you have to train yourself to give away at least 10%. But let's say you're like, no, David, I'm better than you. I don't need to give my money away. I toil under the sun to earn this money. Well, God is giving you that money for you to do whatever you want. You got free will. Sure. If you want to steal from God, you do it. That's your deal. Whatever. But you pay yourself 10%, $330. You put it in a savings account, and it's going to take you a long time to build the foundation to get a down payment. But for a quick, easy you are making that money. You're putting $330 a month away. In 10 months, you're going to have $3,300. You're going to have 1 month of income. You're going to have 1 month of income saved. Okay? You're going to feel good about it, because that means that if you lose your job, you could leave 1 month without having to go in a credit card debt and all this stuff. And then, so I'm going to do, I do not like this guy, but his teaching is for people who don't know how to manage money. Dave Ramsey. It's very well known. Everybody knows him. People love him. I'm whatever. Some of the stuff he says, I don't agree with, like not using your credit card. I make a lot of money. Credit cards companies love me because I spend a lot of money and they give me cashbacks. They pay me to use their credit card. So you have to learn. But if you don't know how to manage money, you shouldn't be, I want to find, if you're making $3,300 a month and you're living paycheck to paycheck, you should be building your credit, but you shouldn't be trying to get, I want to use this credit card because I want to get cash back. Sure, like I said, if you know how to manage money, go for it. You will use your credit card and you pay it every month. Don't go to the Costco and say, my credit limit is $10,000. I'm going to go buy this $700 TV and I'm going to buy this new Apple computer. And when the bill comes, you're like, the bill is $1,300, $1,500. But it says I can only pay the minimum, which is $25. Okay, here we go, I'm good. Because then you're paying a 20% interest rate. That's not smart, okay? And I know a lot of people are not very smart. I said a lot. A lot of people are money illiterate. So you gotta educate yourself on money. Educate on how to work a credit card, okay? So once you know how to work a credit card and you are doing that, that's great. Then use your credit card. So anyways, Dave Ramsey says to not use credit card. And like I said, if you don't know how to manage a credit card or money, you shouldn't be using a credit card, okay? You should be listening to him about that. He says to get an emergency fund, $1,000. You get $1,000 in that savings account. It will take you 3 months to fund it. Now, you can start thinking about paying off your credit card, right? Let's say you have 2 credit cards. One of them is $500. The other one is $1,000. The other one is $700. So you pay, I think he says you pay the highest one. No, you pay the smallest one. You pay the $500 first, and then you're paying whatever. You paying $100 every month for this one, $25 for the other one, whatever. So then you pay that one off, and then you use the money that you were paying on this one, you're using it for the other one, for the second one, and he calls it the snowball effect. And then you pay all your credit cards off. Same with your car, if you have a car payment. listen, if you're making $3,300 a year, a month, you should not be driving a $700 car payment. Listen, I'm not the smartest person when it comes to finances, but I'm somewhat savvy, and I have a beautiful car. I love it, and I've had it for almost 2 years. And every time I think about it, I'm like, I don't think this was a good investment. I don't think me having a car payment, because I didn't have a car payment before, to now having a car payment, I was like, I don't think it's a good investment. So we make mistakes. If David Pena, can make mistakes, I can see why you can make mistakes. So best way to do it is you can pay off the car as fast as you can, because you cannot afford to be paying interest rate, and you are not at the level where you can say, oh, well, I have 4%. Instead of paying $1,000 in this car, I'm going to invest this $400. Listen, I love the mentality. I love the way you're thinking, but you're not at that level yet. So this is what you need to do. You pay them off. You have $1,000 emergency for any reason. Do you know that I think 70% of Americans are living paycheck to paycheck, and about 50% of Americans do not have $500 to spend on an emergency. Fun fact: do you know that the poor American spend $500 in lottery tickets a year? So if instead of them buying lottery tickets, they would save the money, they would have $500 in a year for an emergency. But to each his own. Whatever you think you're gonna become a millionaire by buying lottery? Good for you. I don't. So I like to take control. I like to take control of my destiny, and I don't think the lottery. I'm the luckiest man alive, but I don't think that's how I'm gonna build my wealth, by winning the lottery, because I don't believe it, and believe it. If you truly believe, I will build my wealth, but not through lottery. Okay. So, anyways, that was a fun fact about the 500 Americans don't have $500 for an emergency, but the average poor American spends $500 in lottery tickets. That's interesting. So then you're gonna pay off all this debt, okay? Then you're gonna start investing. That's gonna be better now, because now you've been investing. You know what I was saying? You're paying yourself first, but this is what you're gonna do. This guy calls it gazelle mode. When a gazelle, when a lion is chasing a gazelle, the lion is chasing its lunch. The gazelle is running away from death. So who do you think is going to be running faster? The lion or the gazelle? The gazelle is like, this is death or life. Well, the lion is like, whatever, I'll just skip lunch today. I'll do intermittent fasting. So the gazelle has to be run away faster. So that's what you're going to do. You're going to be like a gazelle. He calls it like a gazelle. I know a lot of stuff about Dave Ramsey to not be a fan of him, just so you know. You got to know your enemy. So anyways, now all the money you were putting away, you used to pay off your debt. Let's say it was $1,000 a month and you pay it off. Now you're going to use that money. This doesn't mean that you're going to go into the cycle of, I pay off my $10,000 credit card debt. In 3 months, I'm going to go back into $10,000 in credit card debt. No. My card just happened to break down. I'm just going to do it. You have to raise this. I always talk about standards. That's a standard. If your standard is to be in $10,000 credit card debt, doesn't matter what you do, doesn't matter what I tell you, you will not get out of that debt. But if you raise your standard to not have debt, or sometimes people have extra money and they're like, I have extra money. I don't know what to spend it on. And boom, something breaks. The car needs something. The dishwasher breaks. Well, if you're renting, I guess it doesn't matter. But something happens. You get sick and you have to go to the doctor. Now you spend the money. It's like, and people say, it seems like I can never win. I can never get a win. It's like, okay, you can never get a win. It's your attitude that can never get a win. Now that you're saving $1,000 because you're not paying the debtor anymore, you are collecting that money. You are saving. So it will take you 1 year to save $12,000. Okay? $12,000 in this area can get you a $300,000 condo for the down payment. But let's say you need some closing costs. You save money for 6 months, 6 more months. Now you're saving in 18 months. You will have $18,000 that you can use to buy a property. And you know what you do? You buy that property, and then you get another roommate. And you get that roommate to help you pay the mortgage. And you know what you do? You try to pay the same amount that you were paying over here. You were paying $1,000, remember? So you go there, mortgage, whatever, you try to pay the same. You can split the bills, whatever, with your roommate, and you continue to save. You continue to save all that money. And that's how you multiply it. So it took you, listen, the hardest, they say, the first 100 million is the hardest. Then is the first million is one of the hardest. But once you make $100,000, it's easier to make more money and more money. So once you save $18,000 for the first property, it's going to be easier for you to save for the next one. And like I said, it's a snowball effect. That's how you save money. And you're going to say, David, I'm making $3,300 a month. There's no way I can save $1,000 a month or to pay off my debt because I spend $2,000 a month in rent. Okay, I already told you, get a roommate. You're going to pay half of that. Okay, now you have $2,300. Now you have $1,000, $2,000, you have $1,300 for your car, and sure, car payment is $500. Okay, now you have $800 to spend on gas, insurance, whatever bills, and well, something gotta give, man. Something gotta give. You eating out too much? Well, stop eating out too much. You are spending too much money on food? Save money on food. You're going out with your friends every weekend and spending $50 or whatever a month or more. Listen, I go out and I don't spend $50 a month. I spend more. So I know what it is when it comes to spending money. Okay? So listen, this is how you do it. This is how you save money for a down payment. So if you want to build wealth, if you are, whatever you are, in a hole, in debt, that's how you get out of debt. And there's no excuses. There's no excuses. Also, if you're making $3,300 a month, you have the weekends off. You can do other stuff. You can try to do something. So, David Pena here with the Talk Properties. And when you're ready to buy a property, that's when I come in. Listen, if you want to have a conversation with before, like you want to get together and have a plan on how to save money for a down payment, let's get together. Give me a cup of coffee. I would love to talk to you about that, and let's do it. So be great.